Yo, yo, yo. Hopefully you can hear me all okay. Just gonna check on my phone. Hmm. Uh, Yo, yo, yo. Just testing. Yo, yo, yo. Just testing. Sweet. Yo, how you doing, man? What's exactly, how do I say your name? Is it Het? No, that's your YouTube name. What is your name, if you don't mind me asking? Or what should I call you? Who should I call you? Probably going to be not too long of a stream. Just maybe like an hour or so, depending on how well prices. Can't join the live today. We'll join Monday. We're going live then. No worries, mate. Might be going live Monday. Depends. Haven't really. It depends on how a price actually acts and if I want to trade or not. But yeah, nice. Glad you see the notifications. Have a good day though, yeah. Luke, is that how you say it? Luke or Luck? Luke. Thanks for tuning in, Luke. Yeah, I know. I remember. No, I remember, bro. Yeah, Luke. The Discord, yeah. Is the audio a bit better today? I've raised it a little bit. Luke, nice. All right, so NFP, obviously crazy. I didn't expect that much of a move, to be honest. Um, but yeah, still DXY, still playing around this Bissy here. It's rejected at the moment. It's around at this buy side here, these equal highs. So I'll just go on this here. It's around buy side here, and it's tapped into. There's an hour. Let me delete that. There's an hour Bissy here, which become an inversion fair value gap because it bounced off it, left, broke through, retested the inversion fair value gap. So at the minute, if price starts trading above this, then I'll be a little bit more confident for it to run into a daily opening gap and take out these highs here. But there's a bullish breaker here. High, low, low, high, high. Here's bullish breaker. so potentially wants to run into that. Euro opposite, bearish breaker, low, high, low, low. Has just run out these lows here. Potentially wants to come back into this bearish breaker. These lines here, there's a BC high, the consequent encouragement, and the low of that. GU, same thing. Go on the 15. GU ran lower, took out these lows. People who've been buying from here has now been taken out of this positions here. Does it potentially want to run and take out this? I think so, potentially. Low, high, lower, low, so a bearish breaker. GUs have actually tapped into the bearish breaker now. There. Bearish breaker. Wait for 10 AM for potential silver bullet setup. Don't want to rush. 9:30 open, so it's only been 5 minutes since the stock market is open. New York Stock Exchange. What's it doing on Nasdaq? Nasdaq 5 minute fair value up here. What was it, 15? Or was it even the 1? Maybe the 1 minute. I think it was a 1 minute. Or was it an hour? An hour, there we go. Hour fair value gap, hour BC, bounces there. So it's pulled away, broke lower, didn't act as a inversion fair value gap just yet, which is not a good sign. If it acted as an inversion, then I'd be more happy for it to run this low here, but it's not at the minute. So it's looking like it's showing support, so potentially could be running back up. So yeah. Yeah, new clothing out here. I'll copy this. Some valid address. There we go. No. Replies. Delete there. How do I get that link? Yo. Just practicing tape reading, or just going through tape reading for NFP. Thanks for joining, if anyone has joined. Just going to try and send the link to Twitter as well. I can't actually find the stream link. Trying to find it now. Yeah, let me know if your what pairs you trade and stuff like that. I'll be happy to answer any questions as well. There we go. Yo, how you doing, Tom? Thomas? Not yet. You don't trade before the NFP, trade after. Potentially after 10 a.m. New York time is best place to the best time to trade. So maybe potentially soon. Just see how the market actually moves, but not going to rush into anything just yet. What about you? Right, see that work. Let me take a look. GU bouncing nicely off this bearish breaker. GU is more of a confident or more of a higher setup than EU at the minute. There was a fair value up here, so fair value up here as well inside this bearish breaker, which is nice. Tapping back into the consequent encouragement, I think, is of the weekly BISI, so that could potentially be a draw liquidity there. But let's just be patient, wait for 10 a.m. Dollar, as I said before, it took out buy side, and it ran into this BISI here. So it's an inversion fair value gap because it left a BISI here. Sorry about that noise, you can hear that as well. It ran into the BISI, pulled away, dropped lower with speed, and now became an inversion fair value gap. So at the moment, dollar's not getting any higher than that. Took out sell side before NFP. So people who have shorted from here, hopefully are going to get targeted today and get taken out. But we shall see. How are you guys? Are you all okay? I don't know how delayed the stream is, by the way. I'm not too sure. But hopefully it's not too delayed with the time. Just checking on my phone to make sure it's all good. $54. So it's about 20 seconds. So the most stuff I've got marked out is on the dollar, and that's only because it's got the daily opening gaps and stuff like that. Other than that, Euro USD, it's literally just this BISI at the moment. There's another BISI here, or a CIBI. So that's a BISI there, that's a CIBI there. So that's all I've got marked out, and then a bearish breaker. So sometimes I usually just have it drawn out on a box like this. Yeah, that's a BISI, that's a CIBI, sorry. So it should actually be a CIBI, not a BISI. But I was just trying out the lines just to make it a little bit better, a little bit neater. But I still quite like the harder. City high and the consequent encouragement. So a little bit like this, and I'd have it like this. So obviously price ran an NFP and it bounced off the CB low. But if you take this off, it's still a little bit neater anyway. I guess I've just got used to it as well. So here, that's quite neat. New weekly opening gap, sell side, and then I'm pretty sure it's a daily consequent encouragement of this wick here. That price has ran into here and it's bounced off of that. That can get deleted now as well. I've got a different chart as well. This is like my higher time frame, and so it's like the higher, longer draw liquidity. So I only use it for the daily and the weekly. So it's got like a bullish, a BISI, sorry, here, BISI here, just on the dailies, and then this is a weekly SIBI here, and then buy side on the weekly as well and the daily. So that's the longer term draw liquidity at the moment that I keep an eye on, and then I trade using this chart here. So I've got two different charts. So at the moment, this is showing support now, so potentially wants to run a little bit higher, which is not good for us. As I want to short, not long really. GU cables bouncing off the consequent encouragement of the BISI, of the weekly BISI. Probably like a pipette. Yeah, it's left a pipette there. So at the minute, let's just focus on the dollar, see where the dollar wants to go. I want to see how it reacts on this bullish breaker as well. I'll be, depending on how it reacts, potentially take a trace up, but I would be more confident once price is above this here, this hour BISI here. What pairs do you trade, Thomas? The NFP was crazy today. Equal highs here at the moment. Nice, yeah. Demo trading is still good. Good to just keep learning. At the minute as well, there's a weekly volume imbalance here. I'll change this color quickly to make it a little bit more visible. So weekly volume imbalance for the NASDAQ. Look how price is respecting that at the minute. So even on the 15, it has respected it to the T. Look at where the body's closing. It closes above the weekly volume imbalance. Shows us that price doesn't want to go down there just yet. Doesn't want to go even further down just yet. Yeah, Euro USD and GU is nice, but also futures is good. I'm getting into futures, doing the same thing as you, demo trade in the futures, and I trade Euro USD funded. So let's just see what happens. Let's take a look. GU. I'll be more confident once dollar's above that hour BISI. So let's just see if it does run above that. Equal highs there at the minute. Just keep an eye on that. Um, I used to have trouble, a little bit of trouble, on the higher time frame, but that's where you're supposed to focus on the most. Um, so the weekly time frame, the weekly you can on the weekly time frame, you know where the draw liquidity is going to be, then you can potentially try and know where the weekly low is going to be, and then trade the weekly high. So what I do most as well is if there's no like BISI or if there's no imbalance, then the next thing you want to do is look for wicks. So like here, for example, this white line here is the consequent encouragement. So then we go down on the daily, then we know here if once it's bounced off that, then potentially that could be the weekly low there. And it's Wednesday as well, Wednesday reversal to make then the weekly high. So then you know that potentially you'll be looking for longs during the next 2 days, Thursday and Friday, if that makes any sense. And then look to the left here, the buy side here. So all this time we've been buying up. So people who've been selling from here have moved their stops there, there, and potentially got stops there. The market's running these out now. So the first draw liquidity was these highs here. We expanded, ran into this high and this high as well. And then there's also this high here, potentially if it wants to reach into that. It doesn't have to reach into it now, but that's when you look at the daily as well. So then you go out into the daily. What's the daily telling me? At the minute it is bouncing off this bullish, BISI, sorry, the fair value gap here. So as long as we're trading above this consequent encouragement here, I would say. So the consequent encouragement, which is the midpoint of this fair value gap, I'll be more than happy to then target this as a draw liquidity next. And then if it wants to expand a little bit more, run into this buy side here. But if it does fall lower and starts acting resistance, then we potentially could have a bit of more of a pullback. So then I see this wick here. This wick goes straight to my mind. The midpoint of that, the consequent encouragement. If it falls lower, then sell side here, where people who've bought this up here have moved their stops there. They could want to run and take that out lower and then run higher and run into that. That's what price might want to do. So I'll always be looking at the higher time frames first. So on, if we can have a look at ES. So ES here, straight away where price is now, I'll look at this wick. I'll just keep it in mind there, draw it out, and then potentially that could be a draw liquidity. So if say I'm bullish on EU, that means I only want to take um, Euro USD, like bullish trades like buys on the EU. That doesn't mean that I want to run the whole trade to the target of my weekly. It just means that the more probability of it running buy side is going to be better than it running sell side. So I can just literally just look on 1 minute time frames of run on buy side, and it will give you more of a high probability of winning that trade than trying to sell to the downside. So it depends on if the silver bullet gives him setups, or if there's it depends on if there's news or like NFP this week. I was only trading Monday to Wednesday. Wednesday was quite choppy as well, in my opinion. So basically Monday and Tuesday. So it only gave me 2 days to trade. And even then, it was pretty choppy for me. But as long as I know like my daily bias or my weekly bias, then that's the only setups I'll be looking for. So even if there's like a perfect setup for sure for the dollar, I should only be wanting to look like if I'll be breaking a rule if I'm buying the dollar, or sorry, selling the dollar, because if I'm bullish on the dollar, then it's against my bias. If that makes sense. So let's just see how price delivers in the next 10 minutes. Potentially now, you may want to just run this buy side here before running lower, but I'm not too confident. I wouldn't really want to get in this trade now, at the moment anyway. Dollar seems like it's going to run higher. Look at the 5. There's a little sibby here. Keep that in mind. Potentially wants to become an inversion fair value gap and then run the buy side here. GU's a bit better, in my opinion. Yeah, literally. I used to want to trade like every single day, but waiting for the high probability setups. If you think about it, if you risk like 0.5% and have like a risk like 3 to 1, that's 1.5%. If you do that twice a week, that's 3%, and then 3 times 4, 12% a month. Like that's crazy. Having less trades, and if you take the higher probability setups, then you're like, what is the word? Win percentage will go up, it will increase. Also, as well, if you keep jumping in the trades, you'll start what is the word? You'll chip away from your confidence. That's what ICT says. If you keep forcing the trade, it will just chip away at your confidence. So you'll start rethinking that. Does your strategy work? And like, is this trading for you and stuff like that? Like, and then the time that it is a high probability setup, you'd think twice about getting in, because you'd think about the other time when it was low probability, is it going to have the exact same result? Dollars reacted against that SIBI there. See how it reacts if it does get down to this bullish breaker. But again, everything I say is literally, I don't want you guys to take a trade. If just take a demo if I do say anything. Did any of you watch the ICT live stream today? What ICT said is he wanted to see this hourly BISI here become an inversion fair value gap and not show support, which unfortunately it is showing support. But if it pulls into this and shows resistance between like 9.5 and 11 basically, and it shows there's a fair value gap, then he'd like to get in to go short towards this area here. Let me make it a little bit more darker. This area here, which is a weekly BISI. So every day I always do look at the weekly just to make sure that like price is headed in the right direction. And then go down to the daily and then like the 1 hour, and I start framing it like that. So daily here, there's the BISI, and then I'll also go into a 4 hour as well. So 4 hour here, there's an order block here where price is tapped into that here. Then let's go into the 1 hour. Look on the 1 hour. Look how price doesn't close below that order block there, which is nice. There's an order block and there's also a fair value gap here. Fair value gap, and then straight away my mind goes straight to the consequent encouragement of that fair value gap. And look where price has gone, straight to the consequent encouragement. So it's showing me that it is bullish price action. And then let's go down to the 15 minutes, had sell side here. People have bought this up a bit too early. Ran sell side once more here. Going to the 5. Ran sell side, fair value gap here. But again, this was NFP, so it could have gone either way. So now, if you go on 15 minutes, or even 30 minutes, it's made a high, low, low, high, high. So these 4 candles here is a bullish breaker. I'm just going to measure it down to the 1 candle, and this potentially where price wants to bounce on. This is my like discount array from high to low. Discounted array would be nice. And then if it shows me that, and then all of a sudden it has like a displacement fair value gap inside 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., then it'd be a nice setup for me to want to run higher. But again, if that was on like a normal day, that'd be really nice. But it's Friday. You don't want to rush into it. It was NFP as well. So it's already taken out these buy sides. So it's already took out sell side and buy side. So it might even just consolidate for the rest of the day. That's where you don't want to rush. You want to make sure the best trades is where you only see one side of the market. If you see 2 sides of the market, then it's gambling because it could go either way, or just a lower probability. Just going to delete all that quickly because it's only my daily time frame. If that makes sense, let me know. look at EU. So EU is the SIBI here. Same thing with the DXY. I like to color coordinate my stuff. There. Straight to the contour encouragement. Look at the 1 minute. 1 minute runs, breaks lower, breaks lower. Fair value gap here. Institutional order flow entry drill. Runs lower. Institutional order flow. Actually, that's not institutional order flow. Yeah. This is my premium array. From high to the low. Premium. So, does that make sense? But again, it's ran buy side here, and it's already took out all of this liquidity here. It potentially wants to finish taking out this. If price doesn't hit that consequent encouragement, if it runs up even higher, then it just shows that it's not as bearish. But the fact that it didn't close above that shows that it wants to go down lower. Same with, so this instance with DXY, here, it closed below the consequent encouragement. So it shows that it wants to potentially go down even more, or it could consolidate, or it could just gradually go up. Like all these other ones here, like it doesn't close below the consequent encouragement. Consequent encouragement doesn't close below. Doesn't even tap into that. Doesn't tap into that. It doesn't close above consequent encouragement. Below, sorry. So it shows that it's more bullish. But the fact that it closed below that potentially means that it might not even want to run this high today. Yeah, does that make sense? The power free. I don't use the power free as much. So like the daily low, the high, and the close. Is that what you're talking about? The power free. I don't really use it as much, but I always think that between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. is in London sessions 70% of the time it makes the high or the low of the day. But if there's news like NFP, then it doesn't occur for that. But I always have that in mind. But I just trade the sessions, so the New York kill zone and the 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. That's all I trade. But I don't really use the power free in my trading, to be honest with you. That is the answer. The weekly volume imbalance. Look how the price isn't closing above that, which is nice. Shows that potentially wants to run down there. So let's see. It's really sloppy at the moment. So do you really want to be trading in this? Like, say you was in a trade, would you be happy trading in this? Not really. Let's see ES. Same thing with ES really. Go on the weekly, daily. Could just consolidate. So this is where you don't want to rush your trading. I like the way GU is rejecting off this bearish break at the minute. I'd like to see like a run higher than displacement. This here is actually nice. It's a run high, tapped into the bearish breaker, displaced. There's a fair value get there. Take a look at the DXY. DXY is still below this fair value gap at the minute though. No, I don't really have a bias on Nasdaq really. It's just literally playing in between this volume imbalance. It's quite sloppy. This weekly volume imbalance is this purple box. Damn, bro, unlucky. I mean, you had 3K in profits. Why you could have like it was NFP this week. I would have been happy with the 3K profits for this week. But just write down in your journal, write down the things you're thinking and the things you did wrong, and what not to do next time, and learn from it. But bro, you made 3K in profit. That's amazing. You know. Yeah, revenge trading is definitely not the thing. Maybe have certain set of rules. Say like you lose one trade, just close the trade, close the computer. It's hard because I used to do that as well. Sometimes I even had to delete the app. I had to delete the app sometimes. But now I've learned. That's good that your bias is right. That's all right, man. There's a lot of more trading weeks to come. You didn't trade NFP, right? Yeah. If it's NFP, you can trade Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Wednesday AM session New York is the last trading session of the week. But if you've made profits the previous week, just I wouldn't even just count it as like your holiday. Like, oh damn, yeah. I only trade Monday to Wednesday on the NFP week, but I always take read anyway. Or always on the market Thursday, Friday as well. That's unlucky, bro. Hey, you made 2K. Like, be happy with that, you know? You should still be proud of yourself, but then you just have to write down what not to do next time to lose that 2K. Like, if you've made a certain profit that week, you should stop trading all that week, you know? Like, learn when to stop. That's the best thing to do. We're getting into trading to have more time with our life, I guess, and make money. 2K is brilliant. I trade FTMO and I journal. I usually journal via a notepad, and I also make videos. Yeah, Notion's good. But I literally just have a diary, like a thing, and I just write down um, literally what I was thinking, what happened. Even if you want to if you want to like have a diary or like a journal for just your feelings, and then a diary for like your trades and setups and what happened. Um, but I like to just record them live, um, and then yeah, and then I just like type in what happened, and then I can always go back to it. Some of them I post on YouTube as well, just to save the storage on my computer. So here, G's ran into a bearish breaker, but I don't really like the fact that dollar is below here, this 5 minute civvy. So sort of in the middle of nowhere. Not many people can say they've got to a live funded account and made 2K, so you're doing good, bro. DXY, using the DXY. But yeah, 100%. DXY, if I'm trading Euro USD, I want to make sure they're running um, inversely correlated. Yeah, I'm actually not good with SMT, so I know about it, but for some reason my brain just can't comprehend it, so I just don't understand as much. So dollar runs the whole economy. Yeah, so dollar runs the whole economy. So if dollar goes up, anything against like foreign currencies or futures or stocks goes down if dollar goes up. So if you know where the dollar's going in long run, then you know where everything else is going down in the long run. And if you want to trade NQ, if dollar's running higher and Nasdaq's running lower, then that's a nice trade because they're inversely correlated. But sometimes dollar runs higher, Nasdaq runs higher. If you notice that, you'll find it a little bit harder to trade because it'd just be a bit choppy. Because it's called a high resistance liquidity trade. Yeah, man. Yeah. If you actually if I look at do this and get your USD up as well. 15 minutes. It's literally inversely correlated. So this is dollar, up, pull lower, down, pull higher. So if you know where the dollar's heading, you know where the euro's heading. So it's inversely correlated. Same with GU. Same with Nasdaq as well. ES, and then get the dollar. Lower, pulls up. Higher, pulls down. That's you want to make them run in the same direction, in the opposite direction. Sorry. Same with GU and EU. You want to make sure that they're running the same. If GU's running lower and EU's running higher, that's not what you want to know. Yeah, no, using the dollar. I use the dollar every single day. First thing I look at is the dollar because the dollar runs the whole economy. No way. That's jokes. Yeah, hopefully you liked the live execution. They're always paper trade on the live executions. I don't really post my actual funded trades because I'm just too focused. Yeah, man, go for it. Like, there's nothing stopping you, and all you're gonna get is feedback. Like, you'll get feedback from yourself. That's literally what I did. I just posted it for myself, and that was it. Yeah, you should definitely add it to the watch list. Using the higher time frame on dollar is the a main thing. Yeah, nice. I sometimes I do the video too quick. No, I'm full-time trading now. Yeah, sometimes I do the videos too quick, and my brain doesn't catch up. So I'm trying to speak so quickly, and I miss some things. But I would prefer to do like a half an hour long video. Um, but even then, like I struggle to rewatch all of that myself as well. So that's why I don't do it, I guess. I'd rather have literally like a quick 2 to 3 minute video that I can like rewatch myself, see what I did right, see what I did wrong, and get in. Yeah, trust me. I had college, and I was trading as well. I was trading like in college, and yeah, I just once I got funded and then moved full time, I just got so much better at it. Yeah, what needs quick, yeah, definitely 100%. I mean, like even if I lose a trade, I'm not even bothered. I just want to help other people out as well, and hopefully I'm doing that as well. Like I'd love to build a community and help everyone take reading. We can learn all together trading. There are other people doing live trading, I think, as well. Um, but I don't know whether they're explaining it as well. But I like to explain everything. I've learned other stuff as well. But the stuff that works is ICT. What about you? Have you learned ICT? Yeah, trust me, ICT is all you need. He is the GOAT. Yeah, that's good, man. As long as it works for you, just stick to it. There's no point. Even if one thing works, you don't even need to watch ICT again. To use STDV. Yes, I sometimes use standard deviations, only with advanced breakers is when I use it. I don't really know about the fulcrum points. I try to understand that, but um, I'm not too bothered if I don't get that. I understand the advanced ICT breaker, and that's nice. So like here potentially high, low, high, high from A to B. Let's get the exact here, and these are the standard deviations. So then it goes to -2, and it pulls up higher. Nice, man, that's good. Literally, it's like with ICT, you can like you're good with the standard deviations. Someone else could be really good with order blocks. Like once you get good at something, you should just stick to that. I like the breakers and the fair value gaps, and then I'm sticking to that, like the silver bullet as well, and just go tunnel vision on that stuff. Some what people do as well, which is um, makes it more complicated. They try and learn everything, and they implement every single thing, and then they get a bit confused. I've learned everything, or mostly, but I don't implement all of it. Yeah, fairs, man. Like, if you struggle with breakers, there's no need to use breakers. But what breaker is like there's a high here, makes a low, and a higher high. So the if you're looking for like a bearish breaker, it's the last bearish candle to make that high before the lower low. Then you draw it across. I watch all of the core content. So the dollar's in the British breaker now. Let's just see how it reacts. Yeah, sometimes it does go above the breaker. That's you. I don't get I don't enter immediately like the GU there. I don't enter immediately on that. I want to make. I would want to wait for I want to see a Cibi get made. I want to see a run lower. Nothing happened. It just ran through it, and that's fine. I don't mind that. Or with this one here, high, low, high, high, you can draw that across, and sometimes you don't even want to get in here. It breaks lower, fair value gap, and it happens to run into that bearish breaker as well. So if there's a fair value gap here, you have to allow yourself a little bit your stop to just allow it to run into the bearish breaker if it wants to. So you can have your stop above there. Yeah, I wait for confirmations. Like here, I don't just enter off a bearish breaker. I want to see it like run into a bearish breaker, then potentially on like a 1 minute or 5 minute. I want to see it run lower with a fair value gap, and then I like it if it lines up inside this bearish breaker. Like if you watch, there's like a couple of my YouTube, but if there was a Cibi inside here, it like runs lower, and if it like lines up nicely with that, then that's a nice confirmation for me. Or if it's like anywhere around there, but like that one here, up here, I like the fact that it tapped into it. So there, inside the bearish breaker is a Cibi. That's what I sort of like that. So it runs lower, bearish breaker, inside is that. And I like them quite quick as well. So this one here, this is from this morning. I don't really like them that big. It still could work, but I prefer um, like short ones like this, like really quick ones. So high, low, high, high, breaks lower, comes back into the bearish breaker, drops lower inside the bearish breaker there. That would be a nice setup for me. Since it was tapped, it won't go in there anymore. In this one, you mean? In this one? Since it tapped into it. Is that what you're saying? There's another nice one here. Look at the way it tapped to the T. So fair value up here. Tap into that. No, it can tap into it again. I mean, if there's a fair value gap here, for instance, and there's nothing fair value gap here, some people would put their stop just above, but I would allow it to just want to run into the bearish breaker. So I'd have my stop either probably above the mean threshold or the consequent encouragement, sorry. Or if you want to be just more lenient, just have it above the high. But it can tap into it again like it did there. But once it showed me, if say this is not an NFP day, once it tapped into that to the T and ran off really quickly, that's a really nice signal for it to want to run lower. Yeah, dollar just running lower. And that I sort of not knew that, but the fact that the dollar closed below the consequent encouragement and below the main threshold of this bullish order block, that potentially dollar is not that strong at the moment and potentially wants to run a little bit lower. That doesn't mean I'm short in dollar, it just means that I'm not going to buy it yet. Take a look at this here. There's a CIBI, so let's just go on here. See what the CIBI looks like on a smaller time frame. Look at that. So the NFP runs it into there. Consequent encouragement of this daily CIBI. Doesn't get anywhere near there. Breaks lower. Market structure shift. CIBI taps into that to run lower. And here. Yeah, the best thing to do is mix the higher time frames with the lower time frames. But that doesn't mean for me it's a setup because I'm still overall bullish at the moment on dollar. It just means that I'm not going to buy dollar. Here as well, the fact that it closed above the volume imbalance is it shows that it wants to run higher there. Euro is only trade at the moment. Euro is only our trade, was all our trade at the minute. Yeah, nothing too much at the moment. Keep this in mind here, the weekly opening gap. If price wants to run this sell side, it maybe want to run and extend into this weekly opening gap. Trading for nearly 5 years. like 4 years. I started at 17. Started at 17, yeah. What about you? How long have you been training for? Yeah, no, crazy, man. I've been doing it since a pretty young age. Oh, nice, man. That's good. So just a year. Yeah, nice. Just keep going, man. Like, keep documenting, keep journaling. Journaling is key. And don't rush into things as well. Don't try and force yourself to make money. It's key as well for me. Thanks, Thomas, man. Hope you enjoyed. Yeah, I'll be streaming soon as well. Hopefully, a setup actually comes. But what can you do? Don't want to force a trade and lose. So be safe. Have a nice weekend. 19, man. That's a good age. You got a lot of time, so there's no rush. Just keep watching the ICT videos, and you'll get there. Just remember to start on the weekly. Find where the weekly wants to go. Yeah, properly learn price. Like, do you really want to rush making money now? Because you'll probably end up losing money. Or do you want to learn how to actually trade properly, and then the money will come? Like, when people try and rush into a trade, how badly do you actually need that money? Like, if you need it that bad, then you shouldn't really be trading in the first place. You should just get a job until you're a bit more comfortable with not needing money. Because you shouldn't be just thinking about money. You should be thinking about making that trade right. Because then once you start getting into profit, you're not thinking about where the trade is headed. You're thinking about how much profit you're on, and that's not what you want. That'll cloud your judgment. So here, that was a nice civvy here. Delete that bullish breaker now. I don't really like that. So let's see where dollar wants to head. On NQ, low for MMSM, market maker sell model. Is that what that stands for? On NQ, I see it forming low for on the 5 minute, 1 minute, or is it on? So the only thing to be careful with NQ is already ran these sell sides here. It ran this bar side, and it's got bar side left here. So just be careful. What, on the 1 minute? You see it forming. I'll say the best thing to do as well is like think that you're already in a trade, okay? People have sold this from here. People have bought this here. So they've got their stops here. So the market's taken them out and now wants to run people who've sold all this here. So it potentially wants to run and take them out first. And it's bounced off the BISI here, weekly BISI. Look how it's reacted off here. The CE of that is nice. People who sold this here, sold the NFP. I've got their stops here and here, so potentially market wants to run and take these out. That's not even NQ. I'm not even on NQ. Sorry, mate. I wasn't even on NASDAQ, I was on GU. Alright, let's go again. The same thing though, to be honest, is there's no weak covering gap here. You just have to be careful. It's taking out sell side again. So it has taken out sell side. People who've sold this have got their stops above here. It may want to run this high, that high, that high, and this high, and then run into the consequent encouragement of the weak covering gap. Let's go into the 1 minute. It's not really doing too much really. Just accumulating orders or just going sideways now. So I thought I was on NASDAQ then, but you know. If you take a look as well, this BISI here, if you draw that across, I'll make it a little bit darker and get the consequent encouragement. Price breaks above and retests consequent encouragement, running higher. The lows on the hourly. So here, so it runs higher, breaks lower. Yeah, potentially. But if you zoom out again, it is just ranging at the moment. It's ranging because if you look at the daily, it's bouncing off this weekly volume imbalance. So that's very supported at the minute. Look at the consequent encouragement. Is that not the right one? Look out a bit more. The lows I'm talking about are on the... So this low here, that low there, or that low? Or are you talking about to target these lows here? Because there is sell side there. But let's take a look at the regular trading hours. Ah, okay, it's delayed a little bit. So these two here, potentially, there, that low there, these lows. And then there's a fair value up there. Is that what we're talking about? I'm not sure how delayed it actually is. But yeah, I would say it's nearly 11 o'clock. Price is showing support on this weekly volume imbalance. And look at the way the price is closing, literally on the consequent encouragement of it, which shows that it doesn't really want to go down there just yet. But once it does break lower than that, then it's got all of this to work with. So those two big lows, these lows here, let's take a look at euro, dollar. So if you sold from here, would you be comfortable in price running back up? would you be comfortable holding your trade? Or do you think prices weren't going to run and take you out? Look at regular trading hours. Yeah, ES and Nasdaq are nice. Both of them are nice. I say the Dow is definitely not that good. So there's the opening range gap. That's the low and that's the high. This is the low high. It's already ran and filled that gap there. So potentially wants to run and take this high out. Nice. Yeah, hopefully I'll stream again. But yeah, it's good to talk to you guys. And yeah, I hope you have a blessed weekend. And yeah, hopefully ICT does a shock on Saturday. And yeah, just be careful. It's Friday. Potentially I potentially see price running this buy side here now, in my opinion. Let's see how it reacts on this weekly opening gap, but it may want to run this buy side. These equal highs here. And if it runs, takes it out, then the next draw is that high, and then the high of the weekly opening gap. Thanks, man. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. And yeah, hopefully it helped you guys out. What is this? 4 hours? Look at this here. Another example. 4 hour CB. Doesn't close above that, so it shows that it's bearish. And then run lower. Took out sell side there, but failed to take that low here. So that could be a target for next week or next session. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm gonna hop off now. Shame there's no silver bullet set up or anything like that. But yeah, have a blessed weekend and catch you guys soon.